While Hana and Shinichi walk on a chilly December night, Hana reveals her excitement about their first Christmas together. They spend the evening speedrunning games and snacks at her place, eventually falling asleep in a super wholesome cozy mode. The next day at school, Itsuhito spots Hana looking like she just got nerfed, assuming she's sad because Shinichi is MIA. But he reminds her they can still party up during the semester, which instantly buffs her mood. Hana starts teasing Shinichi about how she used to be terrified of him, and right as she's trash-talking, Shinichi spawns in, looking totally annoyed by her banter. Amused by the chaos, Itsuhito invites them to a bowling promo, and Hana immediately starts mocking Shinichi's skills, which is a mistake because he accepts the challenge just to silence her. At the alley, Itsuhito is impressed by Shinichi's poker face, even as Hana tries to sabotage him with her legendary teasing. However, Shinichi goes into full rage mode when he sees she set his username as the hooligan, while Itsuhito gets the handsome. Hana goes first and leaves 2 pins standing, but Shinichi responds with a massive strike, revealing he's been grinding solo practice in secret. Itsuhito thinks she's nervous, but she just doubles down on the mockery, calling him a loner for practicing alone. On his next turn, Hana lets out an unexpected cheer that forces him into a gutter ball, but despite her tactical griefing, she still loses the match and catches a scolding from Itsuhito. Since the loser has to obey the winner, Itsuhito starts pushing Shinichi to give her a naughty command. Instead, Shinichi accepts a rematch because neither of these two wants to admit they've been outplayed. Meanwhile, Itsuhito is just disappointed he didn't get to see any fan service. The next day, Ami is plotting a major cosmetic change, planning to force Hana into an erotic uniform while Shinichi gets a muscle-hugging classic fit. When the duo arrives, Ami tries to make them equip the gear, but Hana isn't having it, protesting that the outfit is totally NSFW for the cafe. Hana quickly realizes Ami is just farming her own fetishes, especially when Shinichi walks out rocking leather pants like an absolute boss. Ami goes full-on crazy mode, envying Hana's high school memories of shirtless guys, just as Tsuki arrives and dodges the recruitment quest to work at the cafe. Ami won't stop with the down-bad thoughts until Akihiko appears looking absolutely furious. As a punishment, she's forced to serve in a bunny outfit, which backfires because Hana gets super jealous of Shinichi's gaze. Late at night, Hana and Shinichi are back in the gaming grind, and when she tries to wake him up from an AFK nap, Tsuki hits her with a scolding. The next morning, Shinichi is yawning in class, which gives Itsuhito the wrong idea when he mentions Hana begged for more rounds last night. Shinichi is just trying to recover his stamina, but when the rest of the class walks in, they automatically assume he's Hana's official boyfriend, which has Itsuhito hoping for a confession. Hana keeps denying the rumors to keep teasing Shinichi, leaving Itsuhito's hype meter totally depleted. Overhearing the denial, Shinichi stays awake because his salt levels are peaking. He eventually logs off for a nap after class, and Hana joins him, but she has to delete a stealthy selfie she took before drifting off. When Itsuhito and the squad find them sleeping together, they're 100% convinced the couple meta is real. Back at the cafe, the duo is in full panic mode, begging Itsuhito to delete that blackmail tier photo. Ami feels like she's missing out on the DLC, so Hana invites her to join the party for a group hangout, and Ami accepts because she wants to spectate the romance live. At the mall, the topic shifts to Ami's graduation, while Shinichi takes a shot at Hana's low academic stats. Hana tries to counterattack by roasting Itsuhito for being a campus ghost, but Itsuhito actually has a high-tier time management build and earned all his credits, making Hana super jealous. Later, while shopping for swimsuits, Hana takes blushing damage remembering how Shinichi complimented her last year. Ami is proud her wingman advice worked, but she's also crying because she's so thirsty to see Hana's reaction to more compliments. The squad hits the futsal court next, where Ami is hoping for a fanservice moment where Shinichi's armor breaks, which totally stuns Itsuhito. Right as they're about to start the match, they see some toxic college students bullying middle schoolers, but the kids actually have high-level roasts and embarrass them. The bullies recognize Itsuhito from a failed soccer party, introducing themselves as the ultimate scrub-tier trio, Sakamoto, Kawakami, and Hamada. Itsuhito points out their party flopped because they were too busy bragging, which sends them straight into rage mode. They get salty seeing Itsuhito with 2 cute girls and challenge him to a soccer duel. If the bullies win, they get to meet Ami and Hana, but if they lose, they have to pay everyone's entrance fees. Itsuhito dominates the game while Hana keeps calling Shinichi a noob, so Itsuhito tells him to track the ball like it's a swimming objective. Shinichi accidentally activates his op strength and scores a goal that literally obliterates the bullies. The trio runs away, leaving the middle schoolers terrified of Shinichi's power level. Meanwhile, Ami is just enjoying the view of Shinichi carrying Hana before she accidentally walks into a net. The next day, the duo is walking to Hana's place when a girl and her junior dash past them. Hana remembers Shinichi teasing her about their physical closeness, and she gets super flustered when he brings up the tactical contact from before. Shinichi spots her blush and immediately takes a bag-to-the-face hit before they continue their walk. Back at the house, Tsuki is praising Shinichi's udon, and he reveals he's been grinding this cooking skill for a whole month. He wants to learn a new recipe, but Hana says his udon stats are still mid-tier, so he apologizes and vows to master the noodles first. Tsuki agrees to be his sensei, but she gets stun-locked when her arm accidentally brushes against him. She's terrified that Shinichi is targeting her, even though she knows he's Hana's almost boyfriend. Hana sees through it and knows he's just 100% focused on the udon grind. But Tsuki is still confused and asks if Shinichi has been acting sus lately. Hana thinks she's talking about the nap at school and nervously explains that he wouldn't let her leave the party. Tsuki takes massive mental damage from the misunderstanding and has to go lie down. Meanwhile, Shinichi's cutting skills are frame perfect and Kaori is loving the results. He assumes Hana's senior is just a girl right before Yanagi spawns into the room. Hana tries to invite Shinichi to the campus festival, but he hits her with a no, preferring to stay home and grind video games. So Hana decides to skip the main quest too, proposing they just vibe at Shinichi's place instead. Itsuhito shows up looking like he just finished a 24-hour raid, asking about their festival plans. Since Shinichi is being a shut-in, Itsuhito reveals his secret plan to bait them with a legendary lottery event. Students can farm stamps at the stalls for a chance to win a high-tier gaming console. Hana's eyes turn into loot emotes, and Shinichi finally agrees to attend just to help her get that W. Itsuhito tells them to speedrun the stamp collection and wishes them luck on their date, which causes both of them to take blushing damage. At the festival, Shinichi wants to finish the objective quickly because the crowd density is way too high. They play some mini-games like wall climbing, which Shinichi clears easily, before they find the fortune teller stall Itsuhito hyped up. They join the queue to recover some stamina, with Hana looking for gaming hacks and Shinichi hoping for real estate meta. Every NPC passing by thinks they're a couple, and Shinichi realizes he's the only male player in the entire line before they enter. Inside, they find Hana's friend Edo is the diviner NPC, and she automatically assumes they're there for a romance reading. Shinichi tries to ask about apartments, but Edo reveals this stall is strictly for love divination, which is a total jump scare for them. They try to abandon the quest, but the other NPCs won't let them leave, so Hana tries to bribe them by buying a sticker without the reading. They get called toxic players for wasting time, so they finally surrender and let Edo start the ceremony. The results are 10-10, and Edo is hyped because they're the first perfect couple she's seen in ages. They're both blushing as Edo tries to ship them, but the other NPCs finally let them extract from the stall. It turns out one of the diviners was actually Ami in disguise, and she's stoked that Itsuhito's plan to force the romance worked. She loses them in the crowd, while the duo realizes Itsuhito totally set them up. Shinichi is stuttering because he can't face Hana, but he feels nerfed when she says she only views the divination as a game. The festival ends, and they're both sad because they didn't win the console drop. Meanwhile, the perfect couple result is living rent-free in Shinichi's head. He sees Hana is just acting like her usual self, so he tries to delete the memory to avoid more mental damage. Hana is secretly loving the fact that they have 100% chemistry and vows to never let Shinichi play solo so he doesn't get lonely. Shinichi sees her grinning and almost hits the confession button, but he fumbles and only compliments her cooking, which tilts her. Hana slams the table in a blush rage, telling him to just keep eating while she saves her reaction for the next round. But then their hands touch, and they both get hit with a major awkwardness debuff. Hana is happily recovering HP in the bath, but she's so lost in her Shinichi thoughts that Yanagi and Tsuki have to save her before she drowns herself. Back at the cafe, Hana leaks the festival lore to Ami, Akihiko, and Itsuhito. She's 100% sure she's figured out Shinichi's hidden feelings, which has the guild members feeling hopeful for a romance ending. Ami is worried about her own stats, while the guys realize they've done all the wingmaning they can do. Itsuhito is looking for Shinichi, but Hana says he's at home grinding games because he's scared being seen together means they're officially dating. Itsuhito points out that's total non-logic, considering she spent countless hours at his place and literally called him the safest guy on the server. Hana agrees, but she's worried the divination event made Shainishi's affection levels drop, which is frustrating Army. They notice both of them are hard stuck in an awkward loop because neither will commit to a confession. Later, Shainishi pings Hana for a gaming co-op, and even though she tries to decline, she can't resist the invite and hits accept. Once Hana leaves, Itsuhito and Army start plotting a new strategy to force the romance to level up. Days pass, and while Hana is grinding her shift, Itsuhito mentions it's Shainishi's day off. The two wingmen are grinning because they've been distancing their schedules on purpose, hoping for progress but getting zero return on investment. Itsuhito tells Hana she better lock Shainishi down before another girl, like Army with her naughty eyes, steals him. Army tries to deny it, but she gets caught daydreaming when Itsuhito flexes his abs. Itsuhito gives Hana a heads up about side characters like Army, making her blush hard right as Shainishi spawns in to escort her back to base. He sees Army hiding her face in shame, but he just ignores the weirdness. During the walk, Shainishi notices Hana's dialogue audio is totally muted. She hard denies it, throwing out a bluff about just planning her next cooking side quest. The next day, Tsuki is teaching Shainishi how to eyeball ingredients to speedrun his prep work. While he's analyzing the salt levels, Hana remembers Itsuhito's advice and starts panicking, which concerns Tsuki-sensei. Hana suggests Shainishi stay over until he masters the croquette recipe. Then she asks Tsuki for a review on Shainishi, making her super tense. Hana gets distracted by feeding the cats, still trying to cope with Itsuhito's confess or lose claim. Tsuki jump scares when Shainishi gets in her personal space, and he asks to call her by her first name, causing her to drop a croquette loot into the deep fryer. She lets him do it despite the awkwardness, and Hana checks in, telling Shainishi he's overthinking the timer and won't burn the food. Tsuki pulls Hana into a private chat to drop some lore, claiming a top-tier boy prioritizes the honesty stat. Meanwhile, Shainishi nails the cooking minigame with some croquettes, earning major affection points from Hana. But Hana's anxiety meter spikes again when she thinks about the thirsty beasts eyeing Shainishi, and it hits a critical level when he casually calls Tsuki by her first name. Later, Shainishi spawns at the cafe while Hana is on shift, totally confused as to why she's hit him with an annoyance debuff for a reason he hasn't unlocked yet. Army and Akihiko just sigh in disappointment, making poor Shainishi think his reputation stats with the guild have completely bottomed out. Just then, Tsuki arrives looking worried about Hana's weird behavior, which apparently started right after Shainishi's legendary cooking session at their base. The shop closes up, and Army immediately starts flaming Shainishi for the drama. Realizing Hana is salty because he's on a first-name basis with her mom, while she's still stuck with the formal last-name title. Finding Hana's situation totally pitiful, Army suggests everyone swap to first names for the day, and they all pressure Shainishi to finally initiate a real talk. He drops a formal apology and Hana forgives him, but only if he repeats her name, which completely flusters him since they're finally on that Shainishi and Hana level. Tsuki is baffled that they weren't already doing this, but Army promises to patch her understanding of their weird romance meta later. Meanwhile, Itsuhito is out here solo traveling, sensing some high-tier content happening back at the home server. Shainishi walks home feeling totally drained by Hana's constant teasing, but finds a gym coupon in his inventory and decides to grind some fitness XP to clear his head. At the gym, he runs into Hana's dad, Fujio, who helps him with bench presses, and Shainishi actually keeps up with the old man's hardcore training arc, impressing the local NPCs. He was a total gym skeptic at first, but the other members hype him up so much that he finally hits the join button on the membership. He plans to just vibe with solo exercise and learn new recipes, convinced that Hana would never touch a treadmill in her life. Back at the Yuzaki base, Fujio mentions a new young recruit at the gym, hoping Shainishi will invite more people his age to liven up the lobby. He tries to kite Hana into joining, but she's not interested in a zone filled with middle-aged gym rats. Hana mentions Shainishi wants to master boiled fish next, and Fujio's ears perk up when he hears her senior is actually a boy, meaning it's time for an interrogation. Yanagi spawns in from school, and Fujio calls a formal family meeting to announce Hana has a boyfriend, which makes Kiri literally choke on laughter at the overreaction. Kiri just wants to loot the dinner table while Yanagi plays support for Hana, but the relief is short-lived because Yanagi starts pestering her to meet the mystery guy. A height stat argument breaks out when Kiri teases Hana, but he and Fujio get hit with major embarrassment when Hana reveals Shinichi is way taller than both of them. Fujio is convinced this guy is a total degenerate, but Hana starts listing his S-tier traits, including the fact that his room is cleaner than their entire house. The whole clan is shook, and a blushing Hana tries to clarify that they only play video games and he's definitely not her boyfriend. Fujio isn't buying it, insisting she's down bad, while Tsuki reveals Shinichi's high cooking skills, completely obliterating Kiri's mental image of a beautiful senior. Hana finally rage quits the conversation to take a bath, but Fujio is still tracking Shinichi's movements like a suspicious boss. Tsuki remembers Shinichi saying he wanted to hug something, and she gets super nervous assuming she's his next target. The family meeting ends with the whole squad having zero clue who this guy actually is. Meanwhile, Shinichi is grinding out home workouts to delete the memory of Hana's teasing, while Hana is in the bath trying to clear the stress debuff from her dad. Shinichi hits a 3-day login streak at the gym, pushing himself past his limits just to forget that Hana called him by his first name. At the same time, Hana's morale is dropping because she hasn't seen her favorite target around lately. Shinichi tells his gym boss that exercise is the ultimate sleep aid when Fujio appears to act as a bench press spotter, giving advice on how to get shredded to pull girls. He starts venting about his daughter's love life quest, but his gym mates scold him for leaking her private logs, telling him to stop being a helicopter parent since she's reached the adult level. Shinichi argues that some level 20 players still need a tutorial from their parents, while Fujio's rant makes everyone think this senior guy isn't actually interested in Hana. This triggers Fujio's rage mode again, getting salty over the guy's mixed signals. When asked for his take, Shinichi says he'd never be toxic with someone he actually likes, completely unaware that he is literally the senior they're trash-talking. The NPCs decide Hana's senior is a respectful Chad, and they all wonder about his true identity before getting back to the grind. Back home, Hana wonders if Shinichi unlocked a new hobby, but her mood gets a 2x buff when he finally pings her phone. Yanagi catches her smiling at the UI, so Hana has to cap and say she's talking to someone else. Yanagi keeps spamming her meet the senior quest, but Tsuki hits her with a scolding for trolling her sister. The next day, Shinichi visits the Yuzaki base for a fish cooking tutorial, while Tsuki is out doing daily errands. He's trying to stay focused, but Hana's assets keep making him lose concentration. Meanwhile, Tsuki is stealth camping at the cafe to let them bond, still totally misreading their relationship level. After the cooking quest is complete, they spend time with the cats, who have finally stopped aggroing on Shinichi, making him feel like he's finally cleared their trust trial. Tsuki runs into Shinichi on her way back, and he thanks her for the fish recipe loot. She assumes they've officially entered the romance route, but he just geeks out over hugging the cats, which Tsuki misinterprets as a sus comment about Hana. On November 2nd, the clan wishes Tsuki a happy spawn day, and the parents get super affectionate the next day. Hana realizes she hasn't unlocked Shinichi's birthday lore yet, so she pester-pings Itsuhito until he reveals it's November 29th. She's stressing over the perfect gift, while Ami and Akihiko remember his total NPC reaction to their surprise party last year. Ami suggests some NSFW outfits, but Itsuhito recommends a gift that won't make him rage quit the friendship. Hana celebrates Shinichi's birthday by speedrunning home-cooked food, games, and movies. Afterward, Shinichi admits this was a 10-10 experience compared to last year, giving Hana some major appreciation points. Hana tells him he better prep a massive celebration for her next birthday, and he hits accept on the quest. Realizing she's actually a top-tier companion who doesn't annoy him anymore, they decide to make this an annual event, but then Shinichi drops the grad date, making Hana panic so much she tells him to stay back a year. Yanagi spots Hana looking totally nerfed by her worries, so she offers love advice with a side of teasing, which just makes Hana go into rage mode. Back on campus, Hana's jealousy meter peaks when she sees Shinichi surrounded by other female players. Itsuhito catches her stealthing and explains these girls are just looking for a boyfriend buff for their drinking party, realizing Shinichi is their prime target. Hana, flexing her confidence in Shinichi's loyalty, decides she doesn't need to bodyguard him 24/7. She even lets Itsuhito introduce him to the other girls like it's no big deal. Itsuhito gets flustered by her new boss energy and tells her to just hit the confess button already. But Hana is locked into a year-long strategy to make Shinichi be the one to confess first. Fed up with the slow pacing, Itsuhito bails for class. Shinichi notices his low stamina while sharing how hard Hana worked for his birthday. He wants to craft a return gift, which makes Itsuhito happy to see their relationship actually progressing for once. Hana spends her lunch hour theory crafting the confession plan. She thinks about crafting custom bentos for him and shares the idea with Itsuhito back at the cafe base. He thinks her strats are total child's play, but Ami and Akihiko hype her up, restoring her morale to 100%. Hana brags it'll be an easy win, but she struggles when her whole family starts tracking her every move. She's not sure what items to put in the bento, so Tsuki advises against anything that has a fast rot timer. Yanagi trolls her by suggesting heart-shaped eggs, so an irritated Hana just agrees to make bentos for the whole guild. The boys celebrate the free loot, while Hana finds the grind way more tedious than she thought. The next day, a blushing Hana hands Shinichi a surprise bento, which completely stunlocks him before he manages to say thanks. They decide to consume their loot away from the cafeteria to avoid being spotted together in the wild. Itsuhito turns on stealth mode to eavesdrop, totally mind-blown that Hana's master plan is actually working without any glitches. Meanwhile, Fujio is flexing about Hana's bento skills at the gym until he catches a scolding for being early to the lunch phase. Hana brags about her successful run at the cafe before getting tilted by a high-difficulty co-op game with Yanagi. She mentions Shinichi usually solo levels, so she wants to carry him through some two-player content. When Yanagi tries to force a meetup quest, Hana dodges the topic and fast travels out of there. So Yanagi just gets the coordinates for Hana's workplace from Tsuki instead. The next day, Hana is speedrunning to work after a late login, and Yanagi pulls a surprise visit to the cafe. This completely irritates Hana, who tries to force her to disconnect. But Shinichi gives Yanagi a warm welcome, which leads to her mercilessly trolling Hana about their special relationship. Shinichi realizes Hana's high support nature is just big sister energy, which makes her feel like her character depth is being mocked. So Hana vows to keep Shinichi and Yanagi on separate maps for the rest of the day. She serves Yanagi's coffee with a frown, getting triggered when Shinichi steps in to deliver the hot towel she totally forgot. Yanagi invites him to a private chat, claiming she's heard all the lore from Hana, who fails to stop the dialogue tree from progressing. They geek out over games until Hana finally hits her rage limit when Yanagi asks him to use her first name. The shop closes while they're still in PvP mode, and Yanagi is confused why these two haven't unlocked the first name achievement despite being so close. Ami spawns in, hyping up how cute she thinks Yanagi is, which makes Akihiko super suspicious of her motives. Akihiko stays in denial, but he knows Ami's got that naughty eyes trait active. Hana decides to force start the first name phase today, making it super awkward for Shinichi to reciprocate because they'll look like besties. This just tilts Hana more, and even though Shinichi apologizes, he's still hesitating to hit that confirm button. Hana demands to know why she's the only one blocked by his naming filter, which makes Shinichi take massive blushing damage as he realizes she's just that special to him. This gives her a massive confidence buff, while Yanagi and the cafe staff watch the rom-com cutscene with pure amusement. Back at base, Yanagi leaks the meetup lore to Tsuki, who warns her not to interfere with Hana's work-life balance. Yanagi thinks the gaming bond is hilarious, but Tsuki is still terrified Shinichi is an S-class predator who's going to target Yanagi next. She flat-out bans Yanagi from visiting the cafe again, proving her misunderstanding skill is currently maxed out. Yanagi follows the new server rules, but is super confused about the cafe permaban. Fujio asks for Yanagi's current coordinates, but she stays stealthy so he doesn't spread any more gossip. Kiri spawns in feeling totally debuffed by exam stress, and Tsuki tells him to stud grind so he can get back to his club activities, promising him his favorite hobbies will unlock again after finals. Fujio is the only one who relates to his low morale state, so Kiri asks for a VIP gym pass, finally making Fujio feel appreciated after being ghosted by all the girls in the house. At the gym, Kiri is hyped to delete his stress, but realizes the zone is mostly occupied by high-level elder NPCs. He tries to flex with heavy weights and the bench press, but he keeps getting outclassed by the senior members. When an old man on the bench press outlifts him, Kiri flees to the treadmill biome. But an elderly lady is running at speedster levels, and when Kiri tries to outsprint her, he completely fumbles and takes a face plant. Shinichi spawns in for some pool laps, and Fujio tells him to use the pro lane to drown his sorrows, completely clueless that the sorrow in question is literally his own daughter. Kiri loads into the pool map to grind the advanced lane, only to find Shinichi already there, completely confused to see another player in his zone. He assumes it's no big deal, but quickly gets tilted when he realizes Shinichi is a total speed demon in the water. Shinichi is just swimming to delete the memory of his awkwardness with Hana, and he's so op that he laps Kiri twice without even trying. Later in the shower room, Kiri tries to cope by claiming he's just tired from a study grind, but then he sees Shinichi's massive stats and feels completely outclassed. That night, the sisters are confused because Kiri looks like he just took a critical hit to his ego. So Fujio checks on him, hyped to hear about his run in the advanced pool course. However, he's totally puzzled when Kiri just sinks deeper into his defeated state. Since the family schedule is finally clear, Fujio suggests a hot spring quest for the whole Yuzaki guild, which immediately piques the girl's interest. But Kiri flat out refuses to join, still haunted by that traumatic shower room encounter with Shinichi. Fujio wanted the full party, but the family sets off without Kiri, assuming he's just reached that edgy loner level of his character arc. During the drive, he overhears Yanagi teasing Hana about Shinichi, which makes him go rage mode and floor the gas pedal. Fujio starts reflecting on how Hana is constantly spending time in other zones, sometimes even overnight, while the rest of the clan keeps her secret. He's so worried about their bond drifting apart that he doesn't even notice he's speeding, which is bad because the guy in front is fearing for his life. Once they hit the hot spring, the sisters are amazed by the premium graphics of the interior before they equip their swimsuits and hit the water. Fujio finally feels his stress bar drop seeing the kids enjoy the various unique baths, but the peaceful vibes don't last forever. They try the fish spa next, where Fujio has to tell the girls to stop spamming emotes because the fish tickling them is way too loud, so they eventually bail. Suddenly, Fujio slips into the pool and gets tickled in the chest area, making Tsuki scold him for making sus noises in a public server. While waiting for their parents, two random NPCs try to hit on the sisters, but the girls hit them with a cold rejection. Yanagi tries to claim they're just juniors, but Fujio spawns in like a raid boss to scare them off, terrified for his daughter's safety. The girls try to calm him down, but he goes from emotional to enraged again the second he sees men surrounding Tsuki. However, his ego gets a massive buff when a group of guys admires his gains, so he stops to drop some fitness lore and take pictures. While the others watch Fujio flex, Hana wanders off and finds a hidden cave bath where she has a random encounter with Itsuhito and Shinichi. Itsuhito swears he didn't set this up, and Shinichi reveals he's just tagging along, finding he can finally talk to Hana without his CPU overheating. Itsuhito drops a truth bomb, revealing Shinichi ditched his busy schedule just to make Hana his main quest, which flusters the duo instantly. Hana tries to invite him to the group party, but he hits her with a no, and advises her to focus on the family bonding quest instead. Hana remembers her dad's feelings and agrees, but not before Shinichi compliments her swimsuit skins and they part ways. Hana respawns with her sisters in a 10-10 mood, so they all decide to ping Fujio and group up for a dinner feast. Back at home, they leak the details to Kiri, who instantly starts worrying about random players flirting with his sisters. Seeing how much XP they gained, Kiri gets super salty and starts pestering them to launch another trip next week, promising he'll actually show up. He starts talking about flirting with girls himself, which earns him a double slap from Yanagi and Hana for being a creep. Later on campus, Hana mentions Edo's recent date, making Edo blush and flip the script to talk about Hana and Shinichi's progress. Even though they have zero plans locked in, Hana is confident Shinichi will ask her out because she knows she's his SSR tier girl. At Shinichi's base, Hana is grinning thinking about a Christmas date, but her imagination goes into overdrive and makes her anxiety spike. She remembers calling him safe, but her internal battle is cut short when he approaches and tells her to take that off. Hana totally misreads the dialogue tree and punches him, only to realize he just wanted his shirt back from her inventory. She nearly cries while defending her scent-sniffing habit, leaving Shinichi completely embarrassed by her weird behavior. The next day, Hana tries to launch a revenge quest by forcing him to watch a horror movie, but Shinichi is just confused by her aggro. Plot twist, Hana is the only one taking fear damage, and even though she insists on finishing the movie, she ends up totally terrified. Since it's late, Shinichi tries to escort her to the station, but Hana's fear debuff is too strong and she begs to stay at his base overnight. He hits accept on the request, only after she promises to craft his meals tomorrow. Shinichi sets up a futon for her, and Hana teases that the spot is practically her permanent spawn point since she's his only frequent visitor. He tells her to go hit the bath, feeling super uneasy about the sleepover after that whole shirt-smelling incident. Hana playfully warns him not to peek, so he yeets the lights off to scare her, and it definitely works. Shinichi starts checking her bag for food items, only to scream when he loots her large-sized armor by mistake. After her bath, Hana admits she's been leaving backup gear at his place just in case she needs to crash. Things get awkward when she borrows his shorts, which are actually just his underwear, leaving them both flustered. She flees to do laundry to hide the embarrassment, just as Shinichi's dad pings him, teasing about the girl in his room and promising to keep it secret. This totally annoys Shinichi, so he tries to clarify the context. Later, Ami and Itsuhito group up with Hana at a restaurant, but Shinichi is MIA because he's visiting his parents' base. Hana reveals he hasn't done this in 2 years, and she knows he was super tilted by that last phone call. At the parental base, Haruko welcomes him home, but immediately starts grilling him about his long absence. She hits him with a massive surprise, a new baby sister NPC named Nodoka. It turns out his dad, Shiro, hid the news, but he still gives Shinichi a warm welcome home. While drinking, Hana wonders why Shinichi chose the solo living meta, unaware that Shiro basically forced him out so he could rekindle the romance with Haruko. Shiro even admits to ghosting Haruko's messages for him, which enrages Shinichi so much he wants to log out immediately. However, Haruko forces him to stay overnight to bond with Nodoka, which is a super awkward mission for him. Meanwhile, a drunk Hana is venting about Shinichi's flaws, amusing the squad who tells her to just confess already when he returns. Hana flashbacks to high school when Shinichi tried to teach her to swim, noting that he was a trash-tier teacher even though his swimming stats were high. Shinichi reveals he only taught her because co-op training is safer, and we find out he grinded his skills since freshman year. He mentioned quitting the baseball club after a year because he wasn't feeling the gameplay. Hana realized she was his first ever junior, which gave her a morale boost during her practice. Still wasted, Hana praises Shinichi's raw speed and power despite him having zero coordination with objects. She keeps dropping lore, which amuses the party so much they tell her to keep drinking. Meanwhile, Shiro is spamming the camera shutter seeing Shinichi and the baby vibing, which is super annoying to him. They hit the judo mats before dinner and bathing, and Shiro notices Shinichi's level-ups, but still easily obliterates him and drops some tips. Shiro says if Shinichi can tank 10 losses, he'll listen to the girlfriend lore, but Shinichi clarifies they aren't in a relationship. This makes Shiro question why they were camping in a room together late at night, and when Shinichi fumbles the explanation, he gets knocked down for being a scrub. He tries to force the full story out of him, but Haruko yeets Shiro into the floor for letting the dinner get cold. Talk about a power move. Back at the Yuzaki house, Suki and Yanagi are watching the drunk duo recover their HP with water. Before Ami leaves, Yanagi pings her for a progress report on Hana and Shinichi, and they start plotting a way to force a level up. In the bath, Shinichi is stressing over what to do with Hana when Shiro suddenly joins the instant. They feast afterward, but Haruko gives Shinichi way too much rice as a penalty for not visiting. The next day, Fujio and his gym buddy, Masashi, hit the cafe to check on Shinichi, revealing that Masashi and Akihiko were old classmates. They invite the cafe squad to the gym for a raid, and they hit accept. They notice Shinichi is stuck in a repetitive loop, and Akihiko knows it's a common bug, but Shinichi looks extra troubled today. Shinichi is thinking about Shiro's advice to do it properly, but he's confused about what that even means for his relationship with Hana. Fujio asks if he's tilted by that girl again, which sparks major jealousy from Akihiko and Itsuhito. They just laugh it off, and Akihiko tells Shinichi he needs to set some clear endgame goals with help from the squad. Before bailing, Fujio tells Shinichi he better show up with high energy next time he's at the gym. The next day on campus, Shinichi plans to finally thank Hana and stop the toxic banter, but before he can initiate, Hana starts trolling him about being a solo player for Christmas. She brags about having an invite to a party and jokes she might decline it just to pity hang with him, which totally backfires when Shinichi bans her from his base and rage quits the area. At the cafe, Ami and Itsuhito start flaming Hana for completely botching the interaction. Hana wants to just wait for the cooldown, but Itsuhito mentions they might join that Christmas party with the other girls, making Hana's anxiety peak. So Akihiko tells her she needs to drop a sincere apology to fix the relationship status. Back at base, Yanagi tells her to stop being a noob so she doesn't end up a lonely solo like Kiri, which tilts him instantly. Hana claims she already apologized and flees to dodge Yanagi's high-level teasing. leading Tsuki to scold Yanagi for griefing her sister. Yanagi finds the whole drama hilarious, while Kiri vows to keep his future girlfriend a secret to avoid her trolling. The next day, Yanagi hits the cafe and suggests a Christmas co-op to Shinichi, shocking Hana while the staff realizes she's playing support to patch things up. Yanagi tries to invite herself to his base, but Hana blocks it and invites him to spend Christmas Eve at their guild house instead. Shinichi was already planning to lift the ban, so he accepts with a smile, while Hana preps to notify Fujio about the new visitor. Only problem is, by Christmas Eve, Fujio is still completely out of the loop. While walking over, Shinichi notices Hana has her mic muted, so she finally reveals she's hyped for their first Christmas event together. When they spawn in, Fujio greets Shinichi, but they both freeze when they realize they've met before, sending Fujio into rage mode. Meanwhile, Kiri is out with his swim club bros, all of them sighing over their lack of a player too. Back at the house, the tension is maxed out until Fujio realizes he knows Shinichi from the gym. He suddenly panics about Hana finding out he leaked her love life to her senior, so he pulls Shinichi aside to beg for secrecy. Shinichi hits accept on the secret mission, and Fujio plans to keep the dialogue going later. This slightly scares Shinichi, but they return to the party with fake smiles equipped. Hana is stoked to find out they already know each other, so she starts force-feeding him her crafted holiday loot. But Fujio misreads the vibes as flirting and gets salty, making the duo frantically clarify the situation. Meanwhile, Kiri's friends are thirsting over his sisters, until one random NPC drops the claim that Kiri is actually the cutest in the group. After the feast, Fujio tells Shinichi he better keep his mouth shut and help Hana enjoy the night. As the night drags on, the pressure is too much, so Shinichi calls for a tactical timeout. They both desperately want to wipe their save data of the incident, so Shinichi suggests getting totally wasted to force a memory reset for the night. Fujio instantly transfers all their sake potions to his inventory, and Shinichi just spams them until his character is totally debuffed and drunk. Fujio tries to escort him home, but a drunk Hana starts trolling him, realizing he's currently in a defenseless NPC state. Tsuki asks Shinichi to keep playing support for her daughter, which gives Hana a massive morale buff when he actually says thanks for her help. Suddenly, Shinichi leaks his backstory, revealing his dad is a total plebe, which explains why his own Riz stats are so nerfed. He admits he's been overthinking his relationship with Hana, and that's when Fujio finally realizes that Shinichi is actually down bad for his daughter. While walking back from the convenience store, Fujio starts respecting Shinichi's S-tier honesty and wonders about the rest of his family lore. He vows to be a kinder guild leader, but he arrives home to a jump scare as the girls are literally trying to unequip Shinichi's clothes. Apparently, Hana was teasing him for having 0 poison resistance against alcohol, and Yanagi suggested a loser's penalty after he failed a card game quest. They decided to strip his armor, and even a drunk Tsuki joined in, though she was mostly just trying to keep his gear from getting a permanent wrinkle debuff. Fujio executes a hard stop on the chaos and checks on Shinichi once his character model is properly clothed and slightly more sober. They call a fast travel cab to send him home, and Hana tags along, feeling her guilt meter start to peak. Inside the taxi, Fujio drops an apology and says he's looking forward to their next co-op session. At Shinichi's spawn point, Hana preps his futon, and he promises to treat her better, which makes her blush and initiate a surprise hug. But then Shinichi actually hugs her back, and they both tumble onto the futon in a total accidental romance event. Meanwhile, Kiri is still gatekeeping his sisters from his friends, even as one of them starts flirting with him instead. Back at the apartment, Shinichi leans in for the kill, but then his stamina hits 0 and he falls unconscious, leaving Hana flustered enough to rage quit back to the cab. The next day at the cafe, she finds Ami grinning at some leaked drunk pictures of Shinichi's failed night. Ami is so hyped she's basically double tipping for the high-tier content, ignoring Hana's questions about her weird spending habits. Shinichi spawns in, totally confused by the hype, and mentions he has a total memory wipe regarding the previous night's quest. Hana gets salty and decides to deal psychic damage by showing him the undressed pictures they took. The shop opens for business, while Hana breathes a sigh of relief that his memory logs are still corrupted. On the walk home, Shinichi brings up a New Year's shrine quest with the whole guild, and Hana hits accept immediately. But the second they part ways, Shinichi starts frantically overthinking the incident because he secretly remembers everything. He's still taking massive mental damage and can't even focus on his judo training arc with Shiro. He tries to cap and say he's fine, claiming he's only there because his usual gym base is closed for the holiday event. Shiro reveals he married into the training hall life, and he's totally vibing with the teacher title the local kid NPCs gave him. He starts trolling Shinichi about inheriting the place, which leads to a sparring match where the old man scores an easy victory. Later, Shinichi joins the boys at the shrine, dropping a Happy New Year in the party chat. He tries to get some advice on how to handle Hana's feelings, only for the squad to reveal that literally everyone on the server already knows. Itsuhito starts flaming him for being so slow to make a move, which just adds a massive stress debuff to poor Shinichi. Akihiko pings that the girls have arrived, so they wish him luck and bail so he can finish his solo mission. Watching the first sunrise of the year, Shinichi decides it's finally time to face the final boss of his emotions. He grabs Hana's hand, and both of them take massive blushing damage while he stutters through his dialogue. He eventually chokes on the confession and just asks to hang out more, which Hana accepts with an austere smile.